All right, movie fans, get ready for a deep dive.
Ooh, a deep dive.
Yeah, into the AFI's picks for the best of 2024.
All right.
This list, it's like a sneak peek at what might get Oscar nods later on, you know?
It's true. The AFI tends to have a good sense of what the Academy voters like.
Right.
But what I find really interesting about their list is that they often pick these kind of under-the-radar movies and shows.
Oh, totally.
The ones that might not be huge box office hits, but
Yeah.
they're definitely making a splash in the industry.
Absolutely. And this year is packed with those surprises.
Yeah.
10 films, 10 TV shows, and even a special award.
Wow.
I'm already taking notes like crazy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's start with the movies.
All right.
We've got Anora,
Okay.
The Brutalist,
Yes.
A Complete Unknown,
Oh, interesting.
Conclave Dune,
Mm-hmm.
Part 2,
Of course.
Amelia Perez,
Okay.
Nickel Boys,
All right.
A Real Pain, Sing Sing, and Wicked.
Wow, what a list.
Right.
What strikes me right away is that only two of those, Dune, Part 2 and Wicked,
Yeah.
were big studio releases.
Yeah.
It's almost like the AFI is making a statement about the power of independent filmmaking, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. I love it.
Yeah.
Love seeing those smaller, more personal stories getting recognized.
Absolutely.
But you know what's really got people talking?
What's that?
The movies that didn't make the cut.
Ooh, interesting.
We're talking big names, big sequels.
Yeah.
Like Gladiator 2 being probably the biggest snub, I think.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, what do you make of those omissions?
Well, it's definitely raising eyebrows.
Yeah.
Maybe the AFI is signaling a shift away from those blockbuster-type stories, even if they're well made.
Interesting.
Take Anora, for example. It tackles poverty and addiction, right?
Yeah.
But instead of a straightforward issue-driven approach, the director uses these incredibly long takes.
Oh, wow.
Almost like you're living in those moments of struggle right alongside the characters.
Oh, I see.
It's raw and unflinching, but also poetic in a way.
Okay. Now you're making me want to see that one.
Uh-huh.
Poetic and raw. Count me in.
Definitely.
It's interesting that you bring up Anora because it fits into a trend I'm noticing across several of the AFI's film picks this year.
Oh, what's that?
They're all visually stunning,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally complex pieces.
Yeah.
Like The Brutalist comes to mind.
Oh, The Brutalist. That one really stayed with me.
Yeah.
It's a period piece, follows a Jewish architect after World War II.
Oh, wow.
And the way the director, Brady Corbett, uses architecture as a metaphor for the main character's internal struggles, it's just brilliant.
Oh, wow.
The buildings become these expressions of trauma and resilience,
Wow.
echoing the protagonist's own journey.
See, that's the kind of insight I love.
Uh-huh.
It's not just, oh, it's a movie about an architect. You're giving me
Yeah,
a whole new layer to appreciate.
exactly.
Now let's switch gears to something a little lighter. Wicked.
Okay, Wicked.
I mean, who wasn't excited about this one?
Yeah.
Giant musical, beloved source material.
Uh-huh.
Seemed like a guaranteed AFI pick.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm curious, beyond the spectacle, what do you think resonated with the AFI jury?
Well, Wicked definitely delivers on the visual front.
Yeah.
But I think its strength lies in the way it reframes the familiar story
Okay.
by exploring the backstory of the witches from The Wizard of Oz.
Right.
It offers a fresh perspective on good and evil, prejudice,
Yeah.
even female friendship, which always resonates.
Absolutely.
It's not just a sing-along spectacle.
Right.
There's real depth there.
Exactly. It's like taking something we think we know,
Uh-huh.
turning it on its head.
Yeah.
Now, Dune. Part 2? No surprise there.
Not really.
Epic sci-fi sequel, stunning visuals.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about it,
Uh-huh.
but did it live up to the hype in your opinion?
It did, and then some
Oh.
Dune. Part 2 manages to expand on the world building and the complex characters from the first film, while delving even deeper into those themes of political intrigue, ecological responsibility, and the dangers of religious fanaticism.
Yeah.
Those giant sandworms are cool and all,
Right.
but it's those thought-provoking elements that make it truly stand out.
I love that you're pointing out that substance beneath the spectacle.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. A Complete Unknown. Now, this is where it gets really interesting for me.
How so?
It's directed by James Mangold,
Okay.
who also gave us Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny this year.
Right.
Talk about two completely different vibes.
Totally, yeah.
So what makes A Complete Unknown so fascinating?
Well, it's a Bob Dylan biopic, but instead of a typical chronological approach,
Right.
it focuses on this specific period in Dylan's life when he was shifting from folk to rock and roll.
Oh, interesting.
Mangold uses a nonlinear narrative,
Okay.
almost like a puzzle,
I see.
to capture Dylan's enigmatic personality and creative process.
Ooh, I'm getting I'm Not There vibes.
Yeah.
That experimental Dylan biopic from a few years back.
Right.
So A Complete Unknown is less about the facts of Dylan's life and more about capturing his essence as an artist.
Precisely. It's a film that asks, who is Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
But never really tries to answer it, definitely.
Oh, wow.
Leaving you to ponder that question long after the credits roll.
Okay. Adding that to my watch list.
Yeah, good one.
Now on to a film that's been generating a lot of buzz.
Okay.
Nickel Boys, based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel.
Oh, yeah.
What can you tell us about this one?
Well, Nickel Boys is a powerful and harrowing story set in a reform school in Jim Crow-era Florida.
Oh, wow.
It tackles the themes of racial injustice,
Yeah.
trauma, and resilience with incredible sensitivity and rawness.
Wow.
You see these two young black boys navigating a system that's designed to crush their spirits.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
But important to remember those stories, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Confront the dark chapters of history and learn from them.
I agree.
Okay, let's lighten the mood a bit with A Real Pain,
Right.
the Jesse Eisenberg comedy drama.
Oh, yeah.
What's the AFI seeing in this one?
Well, A Real Pain is this darkly comedic exploration of grief, guilt,
Okay.
and the complexities of family relationships.
I see.
Eisenberg plays this guy who travels to Poland with his estranged cousin for a funeral
Okay.
of someone they barely knew.
Oh, wow.
It's this strange, awkward journey of self-discovery wrapped in humor and pathos.
Sounds like a film that walks that tightrope
Yeah,
between laughter and tears.
he does.
I always love a good dramedy.
Me too.
Okay, let's talk about Sing Sing. The title alone is intriguing.
It is.
What's this one all about?
Well, Sing Sing takes us right inside Sing Sing Correctional Facility in New York, where this group of incarcerated men are part of this incredible theater program.
Yeah.
It's a story about redemption, second chances,
Yeah.
and how art can be a lifeline in the most unexpected places.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
You see these men grappling with their pasts, their regrets,
Right.
but also finding this unexpected outlet for expression and connection.
It sounds like a film that challenges our perceptions of the prison system and the potential for rehabilitation.
It does.
I'm sensing a theme here with the AFI picks.
What's that?
Stories that explore difficult subjects,
Yeah.
but also offer glimmers of hope and humanity.
You're definitely picking up on something.
Right.
It's not just about the subject matter.
Right.
It's the way these films are approaching these complex themes with nuance and depth.
Totally. And I'm betting that same depth carries over into the TV selections as well.
I think so too.
But before we dive into those,
Yeah.
I'm curious, of all the films we've discussed so far, which one has piqued your interest the most?
Oh, that's a tough one. But I have to say, A Complete Unknown has really captured my imagination.
Oh, really?
The idea of exploring Bob Dylan's creative process through such an unconventional lens, it's just irresistible. And knowing James Mangold's ability to craft these compelling character studies, I have high hopes for this one.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it once you've seen it.
Yeah, me too.
Now let's shift gears to the small screen.
All right.
See what the AFI has deemed worthy in the world of television.
Okay.
We've got a diverse list here.
Yeah?
Abbott Elementary,
Okay.
The Bear,
Right.
Hacks,
Uh-huh.
A Man on the Inside,
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
All right.
Nobody Wants This,
Interesting.
The Penguin,
Oh, cool.
Shogun,
Wow.
Shrinking, and True Detective. Night Country.
What a mix.
Wow, talk about a mix of genres and platforms.
It's a testament to the incredible range and quality of television being produced today.
Right.
From network sitcoms to gritty crime dramas, historical epics to quirky comedies.
Yeah.
There's something for everyone on this list.
And speaking of network sitcoms, it's interesting to see Abbott Elementary as the sole representative from that realm.
It is.
What do you think makes this show stand out?
Yeah, in a landscape dominated by streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Well, Abbott Elementary is a show that manages to be both heartwarming and hilarious
Okay.
while tackling those real-world issues facing public education.
Oh, yeah.
The characters are so relatable and the writing is sharp and witty. It's a show that celebrates the dedication of teachers
Right.
while also shedding light on those systemic challenges they face.
It's that perfect blend of humor and heart that keeps people coming back for more.
Yeah. absolutely.
Now, onto a show that's been getting a lot of praise for its intensity and realism.
Okay.
The Bear, which returned for an even more acclaimed second season this year.
Oh, wow.
What do you think makes this show such a must-watch?
Well, The Bear is a show that captures that chaotic energy and emotional pressure cooker of working in a high-stakes kitchen.
I can imagine.
It's raw, gritty, and often uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly compelling.
Interesting.
The characters are deeply flawed, but ultimately sympathetic. And the show explores themes of grief, family, and the search for purpose.
Wow.
In a way that's both relatable and profound.
It's like you're right there in the kitchen with them,
Yeah.
feeling the heat and the stress.
Totally.
Now, onto a show that continues to deliver sharp writing and brilliant performances in its third season.
Right.
Hacks.
Hacks, yeah.
What do you think it is about this show that keeps audiences coming back for more?
Well, Hacks is a show that's both hilarious and heartbreaking.
Uh-huh.
It explores this complex relationship between a legendary stand-up comedian and a young comedy writer.
Oh, wow.
And it delves into themes of aging, ambition, and the search for connection in this cutthroat industry.
Yeah.
Gene Smart and Hannah Einbinder deliver these tour de force performances that make it impossible to look away.
It's like watching a masterclass in acting and comedic timing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, A Man on the Inside.
Okay.
This new crime thriller has been generating a lot of buzz.
It has.
What can you tell us about it?
Well, A Man on the Inside is a twisty and suspenseful thriller
Okay.
that follows a former police officer who goes undercover inside a powerful criminal organization.
Wow.
It's a show that keeps you guessing until the very end,
Oh, wow.
with strong performances from its leads, particularly Idris Elba.
Sounds like a show that delivers on the promise of high-stakes action and intrigue.
It does.
Now, onto a reboot with a unique twist. Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Okay.
starring the dynamic duo of Donald Glover and Issa Rae.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of this reimagining of the classic spy versus spy premise?
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Smith takes a familiar concept and injects it with fresh energy and perspectives.
Okay.
Glover and Ray bring this incredible charisma and comedic timing to their roles, and the show manages to blend action, comedy, and romance seamlessly.
Wow.
It also subverts some of the traditional gender roles and power dynamics,
Right.
often seen in the spy genre, which makes it feel relevant and engaging.
It's great to see a reboot that not only honors the legacy of its source material, but also brings something new and exciting to the table.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about Nobody Wants This,
Okay.
a new comedy series that's been praised for its originality and sharp humor.
Oh, yeah.
What sets this one apart from the other comedies on television?
Well, this is this darkly comedic gem
Okay.
that follows a group of misfits
Uh-huh.
who end up running a public access television station in a small town.
Oh, wow.
It's absurd, insightful, and full of characters that are both lovable and cringeworthy.
Uh-huh. Nice.
It's definitely not your typical sitcom.
Yeah.
But that's part of its charm.
Right.
It embraces its weirdness and finds humor in the unexpected.
Sounds like my kind of show.
Me too.
Now, on to a show that's making waves in the superhero genre,
Okay.
The Penguin.
The Penguin, yeah.
A spin-off from the Batman
Mm-hmm.
that focuses on the iconic villain's rise to power. What do you think it is about this show that has captured the attention of both critics and audiences?
Well, The Penguin delves deep into the criminal underworld of Gotham City,
Right.
but what sets it apart is Colin Farrell's mesmerizing performance as Oswald Cobblepot.
I've heard he's great in it.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
The show explores his ruthless ambition and complex psychology
Oh, yeah.
in a way that's both entertaining and disturbing.
Interesting.
It's dark, gritty, and doesn't shy away from that moral ambiguity
Right.
that makes the Batman universe so compelling.
It sounds like a show that's not afraid to explore the darker side of the superhero genre.
It's not.
Now, let's journey back in time with Shogun,
Okay, Shogun.
a lavish and ambitious adaptation of James Clavell's best-selling novel.
Oh, wow.
What are your thoughts on this historical epic?
Shogun is a visually stunning and immersive period drama
Okay.
that captures the beauty and brutality of feudal Japan.
Oh, wow.
It follows an English sailor who finds himself shipwrecked in Japan and becomes entangled in the power struggles of these warring samurai lords.
Oh, interesting.
It's both epic in scope and intimate in its character portrayals,
I see.
offering a fascinating glimpse into a world that's both alluring and dangerous.
Sounds like a show that's perfect for history buffs and drama lovers alike.
It is.
Now, on to a show that tackles mental health with a comedic twist.
Okay.
Shrinking.
Shrinking, yeah.
Starring Jason Segel as a therapist who starts breaking the rules and telling his patients exactly what he thinks.
Oh, wow.
What do you think it is about this show that has resonated with viewers?
Well, Shrinking deals with grief, loss,
Yeah.
and the challenges of mental health in a way that's both funny and heartfelt.
Oh, nice.
Segel delivers a nuanced and relatable performance as a therapist who's struggling to cope with his own personal demons while trying to help his patients.
Wow.
It's a show that explores the complexities of human connection
Right.
in a way that's both poignant and entertaining.
Sounds like a show that finds the humor in humanity.
Yeah.
In even the darkest of times.
He does.
And last but not least, we have True Detective, Night Country, the latest installment in the acclaimed anthology crime series.
All right.
What are your thoughts on this season?
Well, True Detective. Night Country takes the series to a new and chilling setting.
Okay.
The desolate landscapes of Alaska.
Oh, wow.
The season features a stellar cast, including Jodie Foster and Kali Race.
Great actors.
Yeah, and it explores themes of isolation, darkness, and the secrets that lie buried beneath the surface.
Right.
It's visually striking, psychologically gripping,
Interesting.
and a worthy addition to the True Detective legacy.
Sounds like a show that's perfect for those long winter nights.
Yeah.
When you want to be both chilled and captivated.
Totally.
Okay, we've covered all 10 of the AFI's TV honorees for 2024.
We have.
But before we move on, I want to circle back to that special award recipient, Baby Reindeer.
Okay.
This one seems like a bit of a wild card.
Yeah, it is.
Wouldn't you say that?
Well, Baby Reindeer is definitely unique.
Yeah.
It's this dark comedy
Okay.
based on the creator's own real-life experiences with a stalker,
Oh, wow.
blending humor with elements of psychological thriller
Wow.
and social commentary.
Yeah.
It's a show that pushes boundaries and defies easy categorization.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
The AFI seems to be drawn to stories that challenge conventions and explore new territory,
Yeah.
both in terms of subject matter and storytelling techniques.
Absolutely, and I think that's what makes this year's selections so intriguing.
Yeah.
They're not just entertaining.
Wow.
They're pushing the boundaries of what film and television can be.
Yeah.
And they're inviting us to engage with complex ideas and diverse perspectives.
They're making us think, feel, and question the world around us.
Exactly, and that's what great storytelling is all about.
Now, before we wrap up part 1 of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to ask you, dear listener, what stands out to you from these AFI picks?
Yeah, good question.
Are there any films or shows that you're adding to your must-watch list?
Mm-hmm.
And what trends or themes are you noticing?
It's always fascinating to hear what resonates with different audiences.
Yeah.
What stories have sparked your curiosity?
Yeah.
Which characters have stayed with you?
Right.
And what insights have you gleaned from these selections?
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah,
Feel free to share your reactions and insights on our social media channels.
absolutely.
We're always up for a good conversation about the power of film and television.
Sure.
Be sure to join us for part 2 of our deep dives,
Yeah.
where we'll delve even deeper into the significance of the AFI's choices
Uh-huh.
and explore what they might tell us about the future of storytelling.
Definitely.
Until next time, happy watching.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the AFI's top picks for 2024.
We've already unpacked those thought-provoking film selections.
And now it's time to turn our attention back to the small screen.
Yeah, where the lines between film and television are blurring more and more every year.
It's true, the production value, the complex narratives, the incredible acting talent.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like TV is giving film a run for its money.
It really does.
And that's definitely reflected in the AFI's TV honorees this year.
Okay, before we get back to those TV picks, we have to talk about Baby Reindeer, the recipient of the AFI's special award.
Right.
This one seems to be generating a lot of buzz.
It is. It's a show that stays with you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Blending dark comedy with its psychological thriller, almost.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's based on the creator's own experience with a stalker, it adds this unsettling layer of realism.
Yeah, that personal connection definitely makes it hit differently.
It does.
Do you think that's why the AFI chose to honor it with a special award? Because it's so unconventional, so raw and personal.
I think that's a big part of it. It's a show that's not afraid to tackle difficult subject matter.
Right.
And it does so with this unique blend of humor and darkness. It's a reminder that great storytelling can come from the most unexpected places.
And that sometimes the most personal stories are the ones that resonate the most universally.
Exactly. We see that thread running through many of the AFI's choices this year.
Yeah.
Both in film and television,
Right.
stories that delve into the complexities of human experience, that explore themes of identity, belonging, trauma, resilience.
Yeah.
They're holding up a mirror to society in a way.
It's like they're saying this is what it means to be human in 2024.
Yeah.
With all the messiness and beauty that entails.
Absolutely. And they're doing it in ways that are both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Great.
They're pushing the boundaries of storytelling, experimenting with form and genre,
Mm-hmm.
and inviting us to engage with these difficult conversations.
Okay, let's get back to those TV selections and see how those themes play out on the small screen.
All right.
We left off talking about True Detective, Night Country.
Yeah.
What struck you about this season?
The setting, for
Yeah.
one, shifting the series to the desolate landscapes of Alaska,
Yeah.
created this instant atmosphere of isolation and mystery.
It's the setting becomes a character itself, right? Adding to the tension and the sense of unease.
Absolutely. And the casting of Jodie Foster and Kali Reese was brilliant.
Yeah.
They brought such a raw intensity to their roles, perfectly capturing the spirit of the season.
I've heard amazing things about their performances.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Now, Shrinking.
Yeah.
This one feels like a departure for True Detective in terms of tone and subject matter, wouldn't you say?
It's definitely more comedic.
Yeah.
But it still deals with some heavy themes: grief, loss,
Right.
the challenges of mental health.
Uh-huh.
Jason Segel gives a really nuanced performance as the therapist who's breaking all the rules.
Oh, wow.
And the show manages to find humor in those dark places without diminishing the seriousness of the issues.
It's a delicate balance to strike.
It is.
It sounds like they pull it off.
They-
Okay, Shogun. A historical epic based on a classic novel.
Right.
This one seems like a pretty safe bet for the AFI, right?
It ticks a lot of boxes: epic scope, stunning visuals,
Yeah.
complex characters, historical intrigue.
Right.
But what elevates it beyond just a lavish period piece
Uh-huh.
is the way it immerses you in the world of feudal Japan.
Okay.
You feel the clash of cultures, the weight of tradition, the danger lurking around every corner.
It's like you're transported back in time, experiencing that world firsthand.
That's exactly what great historical fiction should do.
Now let's talk about a show that's a bit more grounded in contemporary reality.
Okay.
The Penguin. What did you find compelling about this exploration of Gotham's criminal underworld?
Well, Colin Farrell's performance, for starters.
Yeah.
He disappears into the role of Oswald Cobblepot,
Right.
giving us a penguin who's both menacing and oddly sympathetic.
I agree. He's captivating.
And the show doesn't shy away from the brutality of that world,
Right.
but it also explores the complexities of power, ambition, and loyalty in a way that keeps you hooked.
It's not just a superhero show.
Right.
It's a character study wrapped in a crime drama.
Exactly. And that depth is something we see across many of these AFI selections. They're not just offering escapism.
Right.
They're engaging with real-world issues and human emotions.
They're making us think, feel, and question our own perceptions.
Okay, let's move on to a show that definitely challenges perceptions.
Yeah.
Nobody wants this.
Yeah. What did you make of this quirky comedy?
Well, I loved its weirdness.
Yeah.
It's a show that's not afraid to be different, to embrace the absurd,
Right.
and to find humor in the most unexpected places.
And it proves that you don't need a big budget or a star-studded cast to create something truly original and entertaining.
Now, let's talk about a show that definitely has a star-studded cast.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, what did you think of this reimagining of the classic spy versus spy premise?
Well, Donald Glover and Issa Rae
Yeah.
bring so much charm and comedic chemistry to their roles.
They do.
It's a reboot that feels both familiar and fresh, honoring the legacy of the original while also carving out its own unique identity.
I agree. And the way it subverts traditional gender roles and power dynamics within the spy genre is really refreshing.
It's a show that's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Now let's shift gears to a show that's all about tension and suspense.
Okay.
A Man on the Inside.
Yeah, what did you find gripping about this crime thriller?
The premise itself is incredibly intriguing.
Right.
A former police officer going undercover inside this powerful criminal organization.
Yeah, and Idris Elba is phenomenal in the lead role.
He is.
You can feel the danger he's in.
Yeah.
The weight of his mission.
It's a show that keeps you on the edge of your seat, wondering who to trust and what's going to happen next.
Now onto a show that tackles the world of stand-up comedy with wit and heart.
All right.
Hacks. What makes this show such a standout in its third season?
The writing is sharp as ever, and the performances are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Gene Smart and Hannah Einbinder have this incredible chemistry,
Right.
and they make you feel every bit of their characters' frustration, ambition, and vulnerability.
It's a show that manages to be both hilarious and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it offers a nuanced look at the challenges and rewards of a life in show business.
Now, The Bear, season 2, was even more intense and acclaimed than the first.
It was.
What makes this show such a must-watch?
It's a show that captures that chaotic energy and emotional roller coaster of working in a high-pressure kitchen.
Right.
The characters are flawed, passionate, and driven.
Yeah.
And you find yourself rooting for them even as they make mistakes.
It's a show that's both relatable and aspirational.
Yeah.
Reminding us that even in the midst of chaos and stress, there's beauty in the pursuit of excellence and the power of human connection.
And finally, we come to Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
The sole network sitcom on the AFI list.
Right.
What do you think makes this show so special?
It's a show that's both funny and heartwarming. And it manages to tackle real-world issues facing public education with a sense of optimism and humor. The characters are so relatable, and the writing is sharp and witty.
It is.
It's a show that celebrates the dedication of teachers,
Right.
while also shedding light on those systemic challenges they face.
It's a show that reminds us of the importance of community, compassion, and the power of laughter to get us through tough times.
And I think that's a fitting note to end on.
Yeah.
All of these AFI selections, in their own unique ways, are reflecting the complexities of our world, the challenges we face,
Right.
and the resilience of the human spirit.
They're reminding us that even in the darkest of times,
Yeah.
there's beauty to be found, stories to be told,
Yeah.
and connections to be made.
Absolutely.
Now, as we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to pose a question to you, our listener.
All right.
What do you think the AFI's choices this year tell us about the state of storytelling in 2024?
Yeah. Are there any overarching themes or trends that you've noticed? What do these selections reveal about the issues and ideas that are resonating with audiences and critics alike?
We'd love to hear your thoughts and insights.
Join us for part 3 of our deep dive, where we'll continue this conversation and explore the broader implications of the AFI's picks.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those deep dives going. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've explored the AFI's picks for the best films and TV shows of 2024.
We have.
Dissecting their choices, uncovering those hidden gems, and now it's time to step back and consider the bigger picture.
It is. What can we glean from these selections?
Right. What do they tell us about the state of storytelling in 2024?
Well, one thing that stands out is the sheer diversity of voices and perspectives represented.
You're right. We've got stories set in reform schools, public access TV stations, feudal Japan, even the desolate landscapes of Alaska.
It's not just about the settings, though.
Right.
It's about the people inhabiting those worlds. We're seeing characters grappling with addiction, grief, identity, ambition, and the challenges of navigating a world that's constantly shifting.
And they're doing it with a raw honesty that's both refreshing and compelling.
The AFI seems to be recognizing and celebrating that authenticity.
Right.
These stories aren't shying away from difficult subjects.
Yeah.
They're confronting them head on.
And they're doing so with a depth and nuance that elevates them beyond simple entertainment.
Exactly. They're sparking conversations, challenging assumptions, and inviting us to see the world through different lenses.
It's almost like the AFI is saying, this is what matters in storytelling right now.
Yeah.
These are the voices that need to be heard.
And those voices are resonating with audiences. We're seeing a hunger for stories that are both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Stories that reflect the complexities of our world and the human experience.
Speaking of reflection, I keep coming back to Baby Reindeer and the AFI's decision to give it a special award.
It's a bold choice for sure.
Yeah.
But it speaks volumes about their willingness to embrace unconventional storytelling and to recognize the power of personal narratives.
It's like they're saying, your story matters, even if it's messy.
Right.
Even if it's dark. Even if it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It deserves to be told.
And that's a powerful message.
Yeah.
Not just for aspiring storytellers, but for all of us.
It reminds us that our experiences, our perspectives, our unique ways of seeing the world have value.
And that by sharing our stories, we can connect with others, build empathy, and foster understanding.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the AFI's top picks for 2024, I'm left with a sense of hope and excitement.
Me too. These selections point to a vibrant and evolving landscape of storytelling.
Where diverse voices are being amplified, where boundaries are being pushed, and where audiences are hungry for stories that challenge and inspire.
So keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep watching.
Keep those conversations going.
Because the best stories are meant to be shared.
And who knows, maybe your story will be the one that resonates with the world someday.
Until next time, happy watching and keep those deep dives going.